Okay, hello everyone, Cozy Azeroth here, and at the moment I am going to be continuing work on a retro Dragon Ball Z themed fighting game that I'm working on with my friend Dylan from Ashland, Oregon. And we've made some pretty good progress. He had this vision for a retro game with two small, sort of 8-bit retro sprites zipping around the screen with some various fight mechanics, and a game with some stats and gauges at the top of the screen. Very minimalist retro fighting game, totally in line with my own video game aesthetic. And he has a well fleshed out idea of the fight mechanics, and I have done a little bit of retro game programming. And it was a good partnership. So we've made some good progress. We have two sprites on the screen. They change directions when they go left and right. They zip around the screen. They don't fly off the screen. They don't run into each other. So far, that's a um, pretty good bit of progress. Okay, let's load the program up. Let's see. We're in the fight directory. So cd fight. Very similar to old DOS prompts here. List, and there's our fighting program, fight p8. Fight.p8. So load fight. Okay. There's our program. Let's run it so we can see where we're at here. We have two sprites running around the screen, and they don't run into each other. They cannot pass through each other, which is awesome. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go back to my design document here. So Dylan had an idea for gauges, and I'm not super familiar with the Dragon Ball Z franchise. So we have a health gauge, a Kai gauge. He said max 150 for health, max 100 for Kai, a yellow transformation gauge, a timer, maybe 99 seconds per round, maybe a timer free mode, and orange markers, little 1-star Dragon Balls to indicate the number of rounds won by each player, the game being best 2 out of 3. Okay. So I think what we need to start by doing, even before we do anything else, let's start adding some variables here. Okay, so we have, let's see, player 0 health equals, and we're going to start out at max 150. Player 1 health equals 150. Max 150. Okay, player 0 Kai equals, let's see, we start out either low or 20, he said. Let's just start out with 20. Max 100. Player 1 Kai equals 20. We'll start them out both at 20. So the gauge isn't totally empty. Okay, then what else did we have? We had the transformation, max 100. Okay. Player 0 transformation. It's kind of a long variable name. It's okay. Equals let's call it 0. He's gonna jump on here in a minute. Let's see, max 100 transformation. Player 1 transformation equals 0. Max 100 transformation. Okay, let's set an initial value for the timer. Timer equals 99. Initial timer value. And round equals 1. Okay, that's a lot we just added. So you can see how complicated this game is going to get here. Let's back up a bit. Initial player position. This will be initial gauge values. Let's make sure we haven't broken anything. Always test as you go. Every time you add something, make sure you haven't broken anything. Clear the screen. Okay, so I think what I want to do now, let's start really simple. Let's go to the PICO-8 manual. I just want to display text on the screen. Okay, the print function is used to write strings to the game at XY position and in the color you specify. Okay. So there's no centering feature, is there? That's kind of annoying. I wonder how wide each character is. Let me think here. I think we need to define a new function. Let's call a function display timer. Let's get the simplest possible things working that we can get working. look at the format here for print statements. Parentheses, string, x, y, and color. Okay. What did we call it? We called it timer. Start with 0, 0. And let's figure out what color we need here. Oh, yeah. There we go. 0, 1, 2. Let's go for this purpley color. 0, 1. To call a string value. Oh, I forgot to close the function. Okay, and then we need to make sure we haven't broken anything. Looks fine. Let's call that function. So clear the screen, rectangle fill. We're going to call this display timer. And there's our counter. I like it. I think it needs to be the lighter color though. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Change that to number 13. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're not going to worry about how many rounds we're playing now. I want to see if I can get this timer counting down while we're playing the game. So while the game is playing, timer count down. Okay, so while the game is playing, okay, let's create a function for timer countdown. Let's get a for next loop going. Need to see how to do that in this language. Loop, loops. Okay. I think here we can just do it in terms of variables. We don't need a fancy variable name here for. Let's do C for timer or for countdown. For C equals Okay, start, stop, count. So we basically wanted to count down. We need a timer that goes, because this is looping 30 times a second. So we need a timer that counts up to 30, and then at the end of that loop, decrements the timer value. So let's see. The initial value of this placeholder variable, counter variable, excuse me, is going to be 1. I keep forgetting the syntax here. Okay, stop when it reaches 30. Count by 1. Do the following. Do I have to end the loop? I do. Okay. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, what's going to happen now? In the update function, I'm going to run this timer countdown. That means, well, no. Oh no, I don't want to loop in there. I actually want to. Okay, I'm going to rethink this actually. Okay, hold on. Because I don't want it to loop 30 times a second, 30 times every 30 seconds. No, 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 no. We want. Okay. Okay. Need a timer delay variable here. Equals 1. Actually, let's call it 0. Okay. So basically, we're going to start out with 0. So first, every time this function is called, 30 times a second, we're going to change that timer delay value. Unless there's already a delay function built in. It'd be much handier if there were already a delay function built in. Let's check it out. I don't think there is. Okay. So what do we call that? Timer delay. But if timer delay is greater than, actually is less than 30, then
Hello.
hey Dylan, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. I'm actually making pretty good progress. I keep having to look up the syntax of the language. So let me see here. So what I've done so far, you want me to show you what I've done so far?
Yeah, could you share your screen
Oh,
with the Discord?
yeah, absolutely. Let me get in there.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm
Nice.
good. I feel good. We did a lot of music last night.
It
Very
sounds like.
fun.
Okay, let's see. How do I do share screen? And let's do this screen. Okay, should be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
loading.
So what I've done so far, up in the initialization function, I've created some new initial gauge values. So player 0 health. These are based on the numbers you gave me previously, and so the whole idea is to make them easy to change in one place. Player 0 health equals 150. Player 1 health equals 150. That's the initial value and the max value.
Okay.
Player 0 Chi. Now we talked about doing either 0 or 20 as the initial Chi value. Do you have any thought on whether it should be 0 or 20?
Let's do 0.
0 it is.
No. Yeah, let's do 0.
Okay.
Let's start it at 0 Chi. You gotta work for it.
Love it. And the initial transformation value, 0.
Yes.
The initial timer per round, 99. Let's start with 99 seconds. How does that sound?
Yep.
Okay. Now here's where things get interesting because this game loop is running 30 times a second. So we have a timer value, but basically every 30 cycles, essentially, we need the timer value to go down by 1. So what I'm doing is creating a timer delay variable called 0, and I'm going to have a counter that every time the game loop runs, it's going to count up from 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 30. Then every 30 cycles, I want to decrease the timer value by 1. So this is, so this is like a counter within a counter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, count for the
and so
counter.
what? Let me see here. Actually, I think if I comment this out, yeah, I think I can run this in its current form. Yeah, so you see, I've got a timer showing on the screen now.
Oh, cool.
Now it doesn't do anything yet, but that's what I'm working on. I need to move it over to the middle, and I need to get this timer countdown working. So that's what I was working on when you jumped in. So I created a function called display timer. All that does is print the timer onto the screen wherever I tell it to go, and I haven't decided where that's going to go yet. And then I have this timer countdown, and so every cycle, it's going to run this timer countdown function, and that's going to take this timer delay value. So basically, I was in the middle of writing, if it's less than 30, then we want to add 1 to it.
Perfect.
Actually, it should probably start at 0. I'm not sure yet. Probably doesn't really matter if we plus or minus 1 extra cycle. If timer delay is less than 30, then timer delay plus equals 1. Okay.
Does there need to be a space between the equals and the 1?
Oh, probably. Yep. Probably. There we go. Good call.
Perfect.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if timer delay is less than 30, every time this runs, it's going to increase that value of the timer delay. Now, when that timer delay equals 30, we need to do 2 things. We need to reset the value to 0, and we need to decrement the actual timer value.
Yeah. So it starts counting from 0 again.
Exactly. So if timer delay equals 30, oops, 2 equals, we learned that last time,
Yeah.
then timer delay equals, we want to go back to 0.
0.
And, okay.
Should it be 30 or 31? Like when the counter gets to 30? Yeah.
Well, let's see. Actually, it probably should be 29 now that I think about it. So we're starting it at 0. So
Oh yeah, 0. Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
actually, so that happens here if it's less than 30, which is 29. Oh, then add 1. You go with this to be 29, right? If we're starting at 0.
It seems likely to me.
And if it equals 29, I wish there was a built-in delay function. That would be awesome, but I don't think there is. I took a look at the manual and couldn't find one. Okay, so if it equals 29, set it back to 0. Now, and also, if oh, wait a minute, can't have that. Oh, we know what we can do. When it hits 29, we can just do 2 things. When it hits 29, then we're going to take the timer value. Timer equals minus equals 1. So let's reason this through here. We start out with an initial timer delay value of 0. If it's less than 29, whenever this function is called 30 times a second, it's going to add 1 to the value. And once that's happened, if the timer delay value equals 29, then we're going to reset the timer delay, the delay counter, and we're going to take the actual timer value, 99, starts out at 99, and we're going to subtract 1 from it. Let's see if that's working. So I think I'm pretty optimistic that this timer is going to count down pretty well now. So so we're in the update functions. It's so hard to keep track of where I'm at because I can't see the whole program at once. Well, yeah, timer countdown. What did we call that function? We called that timer countdown. That just runs that function every 30th of a second. I think the rest will happen automatically because I already have a function displaying the timer value. So if I've done my work correctly here, this should count now. Check it out.
Yep. There it goes.
That's awesome.
That's killer.
Now
So
it's gonna keep counting. Watch what'll happen. It'll give us a negative value. I think it'll probably throw a negative sign in there, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm actually gonna let it count down and see what happens. That's badass.
Cool.
You gotta admit that works pretty well.
Super badass.
On the first try. So, and then of course, when it hits 0, then you have to tell it to do something, end the round or whatever. But right now, we're just gonna have a 1-round game until we get everything working. Then we can work on multiple rounds.
Wow.
That works pretty well.
Yeah, look at it go.
And we can zip around. Everything's fine. It doesn't seem to slow down very much. It probably slows down a tiny fraction of a second as you're moving around, but probably not very much. Not noticeable. It's pretty smooth.
Oh, it's so great.
Eventually might work on making that counter a little bigger in the middle. But,
yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm not sure if you can change the size of text or if you have to do it with sprites.
Oh, okay.
Let's just get it working first, and we can polish it up later.
Yeah, if it ends up being smaller and the gauge area is smaller, we'll just make the map for them to fly around bigger.
So does it go into negative numbers? It does.
Yep.
Okay. So let's clear the
stop
screen.
at 0 and match, which I guess there's not a match set up yet, so I don't know how
exactly.
that. But yeah, hitting 0 would end the fight. And then whoever has the most matches, or no, that would then give you a match marker unless you already have 2, then you win the match.
Right. So
Or,
let's
yeah.
let's see if we can get this position more in the middle of the screen at least.
Yeah, and maybe make it purple or something. I don't have a color in mind yet. It was just an
Oh, for the
arbitrary
counter.
color.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough because this, visually, if we run it, this is kind
Maybe
of a
make it
dark.
a color that would pop. Yeah, maybe make a color that would pop on there. Yeah, I don't have any like actual color desire yet.
I don't either. One second here. I got a notification. Oh, yeah.
Maybe a certain color in mind for this one.
This is where
White.
I wish the
Yeah, white would make a lot of sense.
white's always fine. Was one of the things that
Yeah.
stand out because this is a fairly dark background, so we can have really bright
Yeah.
gauges, and so
Yeah.
white will definitely pop. So let's do that.
Yeah, I think a white timer would be nice.
So let's see. White is color number 7. Wait, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7.
Nice.
I always forget the colors. I haven't memorized them yet.
Oh yeah, same.
So let's see. Where did I have the draw timer? Yeah, here's the timer. So we'll change that to number 7. Now the timer should be bright.
Nice. It's so satisfying.
It is satisfying, isn't
it? Yeah.
All right, so let's reposition this now. We said we had 128 pixels. What I don't know is how wide these characters are. It looks like they're monospaced, so we can actually count here. 1, 2, 3. We have a full line right here, so I'm just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So there are 32 characters across. So let's get the calculator out. So we got 128 pixels divided by 32. Each character is 4 pixels. Good to know. So now we can figure out exactly where to position this timer if it's going to be in the middle of the screen.
Cool.
So
yeah,
let's
okay,
see. So half of 168, or 124, 128, excuse me, is 64. Minus 4, because that would be the top left. I think we're talking about 59 pixels on the X. Let's see what that gets us. That should bump it to the middle of the screen, give or take. That's pretty good. Might be off by 1 pixel, I'm not sure yet. And if we want it to be in the middle, we said that was, let's see, is it one? Wait, these characters are taller than they are wide, so what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, wait. Actually, I wonder if it says in the manual.
How many pixels the letters are.
I'm looking for any references to 32 because it's 32 characters across. All right, we'll just have to play with this here. So, actually, we can see how many pixels each character is here. 1, 2, 1. So 5. 5 by 3, just 5 by 3. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So, and we have that rectangle that we put on the screen was how big? 31 pixels. So basically we want half of that and then 2 more up. So let's call it, or minus 2.
15,
let's call it 13.
14.
Let's call it 13 for now, I think. It's 15 minus 2.
Okay.
Where was that? That's pretty good.
Cool.
Good enough, close enough for the moment. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah,
It's starting to feel like a game, you know? We got a little time pressure now.
yeah. All right.
Okay. Now we need to work on displaying the grid, the initial health and chi and transformation values.
Yes.
So we need a function. Let me think. We're doing pretty good on space too. We're getting a lot done, and you know we got a lot of room left in this program. I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, there's tons of space left. Yeah, now that I'm seeing how fast it fills up, I'm feeling pretty comfortable too. Not that I've ever made a game.
Draw gauges.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where things are going to get a little weird, I think, because it's just going to come down to getting it on the screen and then adjusting it until it looks great. I don't think. I mean, we could literally pull out graph paper and do this probably, which maybe is the smart thing to do, but I don't think we need to do that. So, what order do you want them in? Do you want them in health, chi,
and
transformation, and then the number of rounds?
Yep.
Okay. So let's do a few things here. Let's go with print. In fact, every time I do this, I need to look at the syntax because I'm so used to programming in other languages. Okay, so string goes in quotes. So we got string, XY, and the color. So let's print. So on the left side, is it going to be obvious that the left side of the screen is player 1 and the right side of the screen is player 2, or do I need to say player 1 health, player 1 chi, or is that heavy-handed?
It should be obvious, but if we could have the characters' names be displayed also, that would be pretty cool. If it would be like Goku and then Frieza.
Okay.
Instead of player 1, player 2, if that was possible.
Are we?
Player 1.
Have you decided whether you want to? Have you decided whether you just want to stick to 2 characters or whether you want to have multiple characters?
2 for now, and then if there's enough space with sprites later to add more characters.
You know what I can do?
I just want to have more
actually.
sprite space for like attacks and stuff. Yeah, I was just noticing that the sprites were gonna fill in pretty fast.
Let's do.
So I thought we might have space.
So player 1 name equals.
Oh yeah.
What's the okay? Which one did we call player 1? We're calling actually player 0. I remember, I keep making that mistake.
Oh yeah, player 0.
So
that's right.
Which one was
and
player?
I think it's Frieza right now. That's Frieza.
Frieza. That's yeah, right. Okay. How do you spell it?
Frieza.
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 Player 1 name.
2 or yeah, is Piccolo. Piccolo.
Like the instrument?
Piccolo. Yep.
Okay, Frieza and Piccolo. Okay, so this will be nice. So what we can do now, player 0 name. And let's do this at, just to get it on the screen, 0, 0.
Yeah.
And let's do it in white, which was number 7. Now,
Oh my gosh.
we don't want it 0, 0. I'm just gonna pick something. I'm gonna say 110 for now. We'll adjust it here in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's add the draw gauges function to the display timer draw gauges. Can call string value. Undisclosed function at line 2. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I didn't end this function, did I?
Oh, okay. There we go. Ah.
Pretty good.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So what we need to do, actually, I need to see if there's a way to get the length of the string. And then, so this is going to be just a little tricky because what I want to do is if we have different player names, we can't just bump it to the right side of the screen because the XY value is based on the top left of the text string. So we need to start at the right. So for any given name, we need to figure out how many characters are in that name so we can build a function in the draw function that says if if the name is 2 characters long, put it over here. If it's 5 characters long, put it over here on the right side of the screen. So that way it looks right in every case. So
right now we can just work with the names Goku and Frieza. So Frieza would be our longest name.
Right.
If you want to do that, you could just change the names.
Might as well build it once right. Let me go back to. Is there a way to get the string length? I don't want that. Let's look at this cheat sheet here. Let's see, what can we do with strings? String manipulation, here we go, length. That's what I want.
Oh.
I can't even tell what symbol that is.
H string. Oh, hashtag.
Oh yeah, maybe hashtag string length. Okay. Let's go to the manual. String. Okay, so if the string name is S, then hashtag string will be the length of the string. Okay, that's easy. We could figure that out. All right, so we said each character is 3 pixels wide in the name, right?
Yes.
So let's Let me think here.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of math here. 127, which is the rightmost side of the screen, minus 3 times the length number, because the length would be the number of characters, and then times each one is 3 pixels wide. The length of player 1 name. I think that'll probably do it. Oh no, that didn't work. What the heck did I mess up? Oh, because I'm on Y.
Wrong coordinate.
I'm not on it. Yeah, I'm in the wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. This should still be 0. Oops. That should be here, this value here. So let's see, it was 127 minus 3, because the order of operations, it's going to do the multiplication before the negation, the subtraction. The length of player 1 name. That should probably do it. Have to call a string value. Unclosed parentheses. What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, the end of it, and it's just a 0 too. It's 0 instead of 7. Yeah.
Oh, yep, that should be 7. Okay, missed it by
1 letter.
1 letter. It looks like, right? How did I do that? What doesn't make sense there?
Does it have to be hashtag string player name instead of just
Oh,
hashtag
actually,
player
this
name?
probably needs to be minus 124 because each character is 3, so the leftmost position will be 3 pixels over anyway.
Ah, okay. Closer. I think it's 2 off. Actually, 2 pixels away now.
Why? Why is it off? I mean, I can just adjust it by hand, no big deal, but
Yeah. Like make it 120 or something.
do multiples of 3 here. Let's see.
Okay, yeah.
No, it should be
Piccolo.
should be 122. That's better.
Piccolo.
Okay, well, that was a little bit of ugly brute force, but okay. Let's out of curiosity, let's just test it. Let's change the name. What's one of the other characters' names?
Goku. Goko or U. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, see, that's weird.
Goku.
Now it's not working right. Look at that.
Yeah, it's not all the way over to the right.
Why is it doing that? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Hmm. Testing. Huh.
That's so weird. Look, it's.
Oh yeah. Try a shorter name like Boo, B-U-U, or
Yeah,
even just one letter.
I'm totally
Try
confused why
shorter.
it's doing that.
Wonder where the letters. There's. Yeah, because the 4-letter word wasn't working. Yeah. So what about a 5-letter word? 5 letters doesn't work, but 6 letters. Oh wait, does a 6-letter word like Frieza?
Actually, I've got an.
Yeah.
Let me try something here.
Because Piccolo works as. And that's 7 letters. Yeah, it seems like that's working for anything over 7 letters at least.
Right, that makes no sense. I have, I'm kind of at a loss because it's working in some cases and not in others.
Maybe there's a gap. Look, there's a pixel between letters.
Oh, there is, isn't there?
Yeah, so maybe that's why. The pixel is 3 wide, but then there's a fourth pixel in between each pixel. Or
Right.
yeah,
So it actually is 4 times. And this might need to be adjusted back up. Okay, that's probably
yeah.
it. I think you're probably right. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Completely good catch. All right.
Yay!
This is why it's better to do that. Okay, so now it's being bumped over too much by 8, it
Yeah.
looks like. So I think let's change this to 127 after all. Just start from scratch.
Looks like we're 1 off
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, 1 or 2 off because if we want to have a gap there at the end now or something. Yeah.
Need to come up with some function that accounts for the gap, you know?
Yeah. Now what
All right,
happens with Piccolo?
exactly.
Yeah, Boo's our shortest name. I think Piccolo's the longest.
Well, that
Oh,
works. I think we just hit on it
nice.
accidentally, which
Yay.
is fine.
Perfect.
If it works, it works.
Happy
The first
ending.
rule of programming: if it works, don't fuck with
Yep.
it.
I like that rule. If
All
it
right.
works, don't fix it.
So let's just test a really long name.
Yeah.
Love it. It's working.
Yeah.
If we just
Yeah.
have a one character name.
Yeah.
Oop, I don't know what happened there.
What?
Oh, because I was holding shift down. It doesn't like shift. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no uppercase and lowercase in this. We got it. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Do we need to do that with player 1 too, or no?
Nope, because
Because
player
it'll
one's
wait.
always going to be left aligned.
Perfect. Yay!
All right.
That's so cool.
It looks a little boring and white right now, but we're going to get colored gauges on here soon. It's going to look jazzier here in no time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I can see it.
let's do a few things now. We're in the we're drawing the gauges wherever we draw gauges. Here we are. So we need to give ourselves some room here. Now we want to print health
Yes.
at, let's see, let's see, it'll be 0 comma, so if it's 5 pixels and then a space, 0 comma 6, I think will do the trick. And what we want health to be red, right?
Yeah.
Which would be like this bright red here.
Yes.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's number 8.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And let's see if that ends up.
Nice. So how do you make it a bar?
It's not going to. Well, yeah, we will. What I guess I wasn't sure of is whether you want the word health there and then the bar or just the bar.
I think just the bar will be good.
Oh, then we don't need to worry about the word health. So let's get rid of that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So I think what we need to do now. So we have what we want to do is calculate. We want to basically make rectangles for each bar is basically a rectangle, right? So we need to draw a rectangle on each of the values, but we need to figure out a number of pixels for the rectangle, and then we need to basically do a little math. Or basically say, if it's if it's 30 pixels for the rectangle, and we've got 120 out of 150 health, divide 120 by the max health, That'll give you a fraction, and then take that fraction, apply it to the length of the rectangle, and then draw the rectangle based on that fraction. So this is not too complicated, but we'll have to think it through here, right?
I'm glad you're here.
So I think what I want to
Yeah, this
do, because this way we can change it whenever we want. Let's do player 1 max health equals 150. Even though we have it's going to start out at 150. We want to always know what the maximum is going to, so we can change it on the fly if we ever want to. Player,
cool.
ooh, actually it should be 0. Player
Nice.
1 max health equals 150. Okay. Player 0 max chi equals 100, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Player 1 max chi equals 100. I know it seems tedious to make variables for all these, but it'll make our job easier if we
I
make
love it.
any changes.
It looks awesome.
Player 0 max transformation, long variable. That's okay.
2 T's got put in there for transformation.
You want that to be a max of 100?
Can we do 50 on that?
Yeah. Whatever makes the most sense.
I think it will. The way I was starting to think it through, I won't know until we start fighting.
That's why I want to make variables out of it, because that way we can, when we're doing the math below, we can do the math with the variable names, and we can just change the variable name, that value up top here, if we ever want to make a change and just make the change in one spot.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 50 so that we can transform. I want to be able to transform a few times in the fight. Would be pretty cool. And then if it's too short, we can just add up to it later.
So let's see how to draw a rectangle.
Is it the rec fill still, or is it a
Yeah, I
different
think it's
rectangle?
rectfill. Oh yeah, you see, you remember better than I do. I've done programming in so many different languages off and on that I have a hard time keeping them straight.
Yeah, this is my first one.
Rectfill.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, and it's going to be the weird. It's got a weird way of doing it,
Oh
where
yeah.
you do it in
Top
terms of the
left
opposite
corner,
corners. Okay, that's going to be annoying. So let's.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second and go get myself a bowl of food.
Go for it.
Max is finished making pasta. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah.
let him get done with this part. When you go back to the character screen, Zach, can you fly the characters around a little bit? Show Zach or Max.
Yeah, one second. Just
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
you want me to move the characters? I can't hear you very well now.
Oh, sorry. I'm inside. I'm showing Max, letting Max see the characters flying around. That's so cool. Yeah. They can't fight yet, but they also can't like.
They can't fly off the screen. They can't bump into each other.
Yeah. They
can't overlap each other. I mean, they've got a timer counting down. Check it out. We are kicking ass.
Got the names up there now, and they'll like actually go in, the character's name. Yeah. Now the bars are going. Yeah. It's like. I'm so excited. I'll be able to play it here soon. Okay, I'll be back outside in just a second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working. I was just no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hello.
See, you got the gauge is all built on both sides
Yeah,
already.
sort of. What I have to do. I'm gonna try to make this easy on ourselves by adding more variables, which it seems like I'm adding a lot, but this will be much easier. Basically, now that I have the health value and the max health value, I want a value that corresponds to the percentage, and then I can use that percentage of health to calculate the length of the rectangles more easily. So player 0 health divided by player 0 max health. Player 1 health percentage equals player 1 health divided by player 1 health health. Player 1 max health. Okay. And we'll do the same thing for the Kai. Good times, huh?
This is great.
Player 0 Chi percentage equals player 0 Chi divided by player 0 max Chi. Player 1 Chi percentage equals player 1, Chi divided by player 1 max Chi. And same thing for the transformation. This is so awesome.
Yeah, Max was pretty shocked.
Player 0 transformation percentage equals player 0 transformation divided by player 0 max transformation. Player 1 transformation percentage equals player 1 transformation divided by player 1 max transformation. Okay. It's a lot of variables. Yeah, so I got the gauges on the screen at least.
Yeah, I love it.
But they're right now they're just fixed rectangles, they don't adjust. So we need to get them adjusting now. All right, so this is going to be a little tedious. So if you look here, the rectangle length is 0 to 55, right? And this here is rectangle length is pixel 72 to 127. Each of those is 55 long.
Okay.
So now what we need to do, rather than 55, we need 55 times player 0 health percentage.
Oh, cool.
Does that still work? Okay, what did I do wrong?
Oh.
Why didn't it like that?
Does it need a parenthesis or something?
No, I might have to do with whether it's a local or a global variable.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Why doesn't it like that? Player 0 health percentage, no typos, okay.
I love you, Mama.
Love you too, my love. What you doing?
I'm just watching Ghosts.
Okay, just working on this.
Fun. Can't wait to see it. I love you.
Love you too. Nil value. Arithmetic on global. Why does it have a nil value? It shouldn't have a nil value. Player 0 health percentage equals player 0 health divided by player 0 max health. That looks fine, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Plus, it just doesn't like the long name. Let's try P0. Maybe it just doesn't like the super long variable name. Maybe it's too long of a variable name. Okay. P0 health percentage. So I don't see any problem here. Player 0 health divided by player 0 max health. That's 150 divided by 150, which is just 1. So what the hell is the problem? I mean, you might think that the problem is that it's not getting a value, but we have the health defined here. We have the max health defined here, and then we immediately do the math to get this variable a value. So the variable should have a value. Okay, in the initialization, line 29. Line 29. Where is line 29? Oh, maybe it's right here that the problem is. They have a typo. Player 1 transformation percentage equals player 1 transformation. Any typos? Player 1 transformation divided by player 1 max transformation. Let's shorten these up. These are getting a little unwieldy. I just need to more easily see what I'm doing here. So rather than, let's call it player. We haven't done anything at all with these yet, so we can go player 0 health, or P0 health, P1 health. P0 max health, P1 max health. P0 health percentage, P1 health percentage. P0 Chi, P1 Chi. P0 max Chi, P1 max Chi. Player P0 Chi percentage, P1 Chi percentage. P0 transformation, P1 transformation. P0 transformation, max transformation. Oh wait, here's the typo. Player 0 max transformation, player 1 max trans. This is the problem.
Nice.
Found it.
Lofty.
Still, this is fine. It'd be nice to get these variables shorter anyway. Okay, so over here, we need to change this to P0 health, P1 health. And this needs to go to P0 max health, P1 max health. P0 health, P1 health, P0 max health, P1 max. Oh, I keep finding typos. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I know this is really tedious.
You can maybe make transformation just transform also if you wanted. And make it a little bit shorter. 5 characters shorter.
It's not a bad
I was
idea
just trying to
either.
think of anything to help shorten it a little bit.
Well, I want to, you know, I generally
Transformation
like longer variable
is
names because I like it to be maximally human readable. You know,
yeah,
there are
yeah.
people that write code that use such cryptic variable names you can't even tell what the hell's going on. You know,
Yeah, not ideal.
it's
Yeah, no,
not,
I like how
especially for a
easy
new.
it is. Yeah, tell what's happening here. It's so easy to tell things. Like Max at first was like, I can't tell what's happening, and then he was like, oh wait, no, actually, I think I can. I was like, yeah, look, the function name, and as you were like scrolling around, I was showing him different parts of the game. Yeah, he was super into it.
Okay, so now I think if we come down here. P0. Okay, that might work. Okay, so
Yeah.
but now if we change the value, let's say we have the health down to, right, it starts at 150, but let's assume it starts at 75.
Yes.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay, so now we just need to do that for the rest of them. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
So
this
this
part
is
was boggling my mind. I couldn't wrap my mind around how the gauges were gonna work. I feel like I have most of the rest of it, but these gauges are just like, I don't know what it is with my mind. There's some sort of cognitive dissonance.
check it out.
Yes,
Starts out.
I love
I like that
it.
it's a happy accident that it shows up as 1 pixel wide if it's 0.
That is a happy accident. I love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the happy accident category. Let's just test our work. So let's say. So we want player 0 Kai. Let's say it starts out at halfway. Let's call it 50. Beautiful. Love it. Works. We are rocking and rolling, making gauges. Dude, I might have a future in game programming. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now.
I'm about it. I have been dreaming about it for a very long time, but it's such a background thing because I'm so focused on music. But me and Max have been talking about video game music since we were in college a few years ago. Because one of the courses we were taking, there was a whole course for making video game music. But then we decided to get out and do our own thing and focus on what we're doing. But almost every time we make a song, our friends are like, "Well, this would be great in a video game."
So the ones on the right side of the screen are going to be a little trickier because,
Yeah.
ooh, they are. It's going to be way trickier because it starts drawing the rectangle from the left, and so that 1 pixel that we get.
Can you flip it? Can you just do a flip operation?
Ooh, that is a really good
The
question. I do not know
initial?
the answer to.
And you just initially have it come in flipped and it just maybe operate right?
I don't think so. I don't think it makes sense to flip a rectangle. I don't think it knows what it means by that.
Uh,
All right,
can we
so
try?
I don't even know how to do it. The sprites have a flip
Okay.
command. The rectangles don't seem to from the
Oh,
documentation.
dang. Yeah. Dang.
Hmm.
Mm.
Tricky, tricky, tricky. Well, let me just check the. While I'm thinking about it, I want to check the Chi transformation, player 0 transformation. So let's set that to half. Let's see if that works, and it does. Okay.
Nice.
That sucks. I can't believe I didn't think of. Why is it drawing a rectangle at all? So if it's 0 divided by 100, that should be 0, right?
Yeah.
And so if you draw a rectangle 0 pixels wide, it apparently doesn't know what to do with that, and it gives you a pixel.
Maybe if you can get it to where it was. No. Yeah, that is weird. I was wondering about that. Why is it still displaying 1 at all?
Right, which is great. Oh, on the left side. Oops. Well, there's a couple solutions I could think of. We could think of these rectangles not as rectangles, but we could draw them in terms of a series of tiny little rectangles, like a kind of like an old-fashioned life meter where it's not just a rectangle, but it's like a bunch of hearts in a row. So we could have a bunch of little invisible rectangles in a row where it just iterates and goes and draws all the rectangles real quick, and then we could draw them from right to left and left to right, no problem, because we could draw a bunch of little small vertical rectangles individually and just loop over them and make up a big rectangle. The user wouldn't notice the difference.
We would.
Well, no, we wouldn't even notice the difference. I mean, I don't think anyone would notice the
Okay, well,
difference.
I just meant in like inputting all the rectangles.
No, but you would just say, basically you'd have to make a loop. You go, okay, you'd figure out how many
Oh,
you'd figure out how many vertical 1 pixel wide rectangles you need to make up your bar using that percentage that we just figured out. And then you go, okay, let's make a loop and draw a rectangle. Start here and go to here, and each iteration draw a little
oh,
rectangle.
oh, okay. I was imagining you had to input each individual
No,
rectangle
you make a loop and
by
you just
hand.
you say, let's make
Oh,
the x
cool.
value
These
from
are pretty
0
fun.
to whatever, 0 to 150 or 0 to whatever percentage of the rectangle wide it was, and then you'd use that x value to this looks pretty good. I'm impressed. You, you'd use that x value as you just loop over it. Basically draw that rectangle, make a loop that draws the rectangle. 55 times or whatever, really quickly.
Cool.
It
Cool. Yeah,
might
I didn't
slow it
realize
down a
that
little
was
bit, but this seems to run pretty well. I'm not too worried about things slowing it down. So that's an idea. But I just can't think of another way to. So yeah, I mean, what happens? I'm just out of curiosity. I'm gonna test something here. Rect fill. I want um, 0, 0, 0, 0. So a 0 pixel wide rectangle with color. I don't know what color can I use that will stand out. Pink. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oops. I just want to see if it forces you to have a pixel there. It does. See, look, there's that little pink pixel in the top left. So you can't have
Oh,
a 0 wide rectangle.
okay, so if it's gonna draw a rectangle, there's gonna be
Okay, so
maybe
there's
whenever it goes down, maybe when it reaches 0, it turns white or something. It changes color too. If we can add that
ooh,
variable.
that's not a terrible idea. But then it's still going to draw the rectangle from the
Oh yeah, it would still be in the way. Maybe
yeah.
make it black background color. Well, I guess
It's not
it
going to
wouldn't
solve the
be
problem on
black
the right side of the screen.
if it turned gray. If there's still that gray box, if it
Well,
turned to the same
I
color as
have
that
another
shade
suggestion that you may
background.
not like as much because it won't be as symmetrical.
Okay.
But what if we just What if we just treat both the meters as if they start from the left? We just bump pickle over to the left side of those rectangles and just start the bars from the left.
Oh, that could work.
That'll absolutely work.
Yeah.
It won't look as symmetrical.
Yeah, but might be definitely easier.
It was
Yeah, and then
it
if
would
something comes
100%
to
be
mind later.
easier.
Yeah, and if something comes to mind later,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds doable. Maybe
So
we'll mess with it too.
let's do that for now because I think that's way
Yeah, get
easier
the
than
gauges
anything we just talked
operating.
about.
Yeah, get the gauges operating.
So let's draw where do we draw the gauges here? So here we don't want. So we don't have to worry about this part. We just need to figure out what pixel we want it to start at. So we can all this gobbledygook we did here we can get rid of, and we can call this I don't know. Let's just plug in 59 for the 59 for the moment. That's not it. It needs to be farther.
At least 15,
Like
16, 17, 18, 19 more to the right ish. Or to the left, I meant. Or no, to the right. Yeah, I was right the first time.
72. Maybe it'll do it.
Boom.
Now we're talking.
There it is.
Okay. That solves that problem. And so now, what we do need to do, though, we need to, okay, if you look here, what we have is the left-hand rectangles start at coordinates 0, 6 and go to 55, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But there's a difference of 55 times the percentage there. So what we need here, they're all starting at 72. I guess we do the same things. We're not trying to draw them from right to left. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take this 127 and we're going to say this is going to be 72 plus let me think. 55 times P1 health percentage. I think that'll do it. And it seems to work. What happens if we change the player 1 health to start here? I just like to debug as I go, you know, let's just test it. Every time I add something, test it.
Yeah, that way it doesn't.
So let's say the player 1 health starts out at 75. Now that bar should be half. Boom, love it. Let's check that out.
Yes.
And if it's 0, we should get a little 1 pixel bar there that looks nice.
Yes.
All right, so now we need to do that for the other gauges. I tell you, you know, I'm happy doing this. I feel like intellectually my mind has been wandering a bit lately. You know, where it's I haven't had a chance to do something highly intellectually stimulating, and this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna do that. The math you were doing earlier to get these gauges, I was like, wow, I actually couldn't even comprehend what you were just talking about there, which is so funny for me. Yeah, I've been so outside of the math world, especially. Does there need to be a space? Oh, yep.
It doesn't seem to care, interestingly enough. But yeah, let's put a space there. This is the chi percentage.
That is so nice.
And we might need to get rid of the space there. So this should, yeah, there we go.
Nice.
And we'll do the same thing here. Let's get rid of our little placeholder rectangle here. That can go away. And this was 72 plus 55 times P1 transformation percentage. There we go.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Let's just give them some wacky values to just kind of visualize it here. Okay, so let's say give me some realistic values here. Player 0 is at what percentage out of 150?
40.
40. Okay, and player 1 would be at what?
65.
65. Love it. Okay, and the player 0 chi, what's a realistic value might actually be out in the middle of the game?
It was 40 health. Let's say he's 80.
80 out of 100?
Yeah.
Chi? Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
And how about player 1?
20.
And how about the transformation while this is going on?
Let's say this guy's at 80 and the other one's still at 0.
Okay, let's just run it and see what it looks like. Oh, okay, we messed something up.
This bar went too far.
Why? Why did it? Oh, because we said it's out of 50. The Chi is out of, or the
Ah,
transformation is out of 50.
so yeah, so his health, so it would be out of 50
So like
instead.
30 or 40? 40. That'll fix
Yeah,
it.
there we go. Yeah, so that, oh well.
Is there any, given that we're not displaying
Looks like,
given that we're not displaying the numbers, is there any value at all in having these be different values? 150, 150, so on and so forth.
I thought they would be different lengths. So I thought the 150 bar would be a little bit longer. And then the 150 would be the longest, the 100 would be medium length, and the other one would be a little bit shorter, so they would look a little bit different in size. And
I
then
don't think I like that though. I
okay,
think it's just too needlessly complicated.
okay.
I mean, we could just make everything out of
It's
100.
because you want a lot more health than anything else, or it's going to be a really fast round, which I guess is
But you
fine.
can,
But yeah.
but you can adjust that in terms of the damage you do. Because if it's out of 100, you can go subtract 0.5 when you take a punch. You know, it doesn't have big deal, right? You don't. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, it doesn't have to be a whole damage
It
point.
doesn't. Mm-mm. We can make it do however much damage you want. I would say just make everything out of 100.
Okay, and then yeah, attacks just don't do very much damage at all. Yeah, because normally in most Dragon Ball Z games, you'll have like 4 health bars
Mm-hmm.
and only 1 Kai bar, and just the one transformation bar, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't. And the transformation bar is just like such a small piece; it's only there if you're transformed. Uh, so that's why it was like they were getting smaller and smaller because they're less and less needed. So it's like you don't need as much of those. So yeah, but if we can just do that in with the attack value, it
Absolutely,
just
you can
means
make the
that like
attack value anything you want.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess a punch can be like a
because
tenth of a health
it
point
seems
or
to
something.
handle the rounding just fine. 'Cause if you're doing a little damage, you know, a tenth of a health, tenth of a health. When you get to 1% or whatever, it just knocks a little mini bar off. You know, one pixel bar off. It seems to handle
Okay.
rounding just fine. So I'm inclined to make the max health 100.
Okay, to just do them all at 100.
I think so. Let's try it. Max Chi, max transformation 100. Because then you can say, because you can, in the game logic, you can make it however you want. If it's like, okay, if you want to knock off 10 transformation points or 20 transformation points or whatever it is, or build up, you know, you just give me a number and that's how it works. But if everything's out of 100, this will be really easy to understand when looking at the bars. So now, so let's just make sure everything works here. Let's put everything out of 100. So max 100 health. Max 100 health. I think we'll be thankful we did this. I think this will keep it simpler in the long run. It's kicking the can down the road a little bit in terms of how many points you want the attacks to be worth, but that's the part we haven't figured out yet. You know, let's just get the displays working in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, if we want to change it, it's as easy as retyping a few numbers.
Exactly. Right. I don't think we'll need to because no one's going to care that this is out of 100 or out of 150. The players aren't going to see how many points are being taken away with a punch. You know, as
Yeah,
long as it just feels right.
yeah,
So
exactly.
now these
Getting it
bars
to
should be
feel
all the way
right.
full, and they are. So that's perfect. And the countdown is working. Okay. So let's see. I need to change a couple things here. Max 100 Chi. Oh yeah, max 100 transform. We said that already. All right. We are really close to starting to work on fighting. Um, let's do something fun. We did it. We accomplished a lot. Let me save our work here real quick. So CLS save fight. Yes, overwrite it. Okay. Let's do something fun. Let's make a way down here somewhere. Yeah, 255 sprites apparently. I thought it said 128. Is it 255? Let's let's make a
Seems
fun.
like
Let's make that that Dragon Ball sprite that you were talking about in terms of tracking the rounds. Let's make one.
okay.
Just that'll be a fun thing to do right now.
Okay, I need an orange circle.
All
There
right.
was a somewhere there was a little diagram of like example images, and it had a star.
Oh really?
Uh, yeah, one of the cheat sheets or something that you sent, or on one of the websites, it had little examples of drawings that you could do, and it showed how to do a star with the pixels. And I was just going to use that. Let me see if it's in my gallery. Yeah, that's looking perfect so far.
There you go. There's a ball.
There's a ball for sure. Yeah, now I just need a red star in the middle.
A red star?
Yeah.
Like I guess I could Google it. Like actual just like what kind of star? Like
5 pointed star.
five? Okay, I'm not good at drawing. I'm not good at
Yeah.
pixel art at all actually.
Yeah, there's definitely a cheat sheet somewhere that showed how to make a star in the Pico 8.
In the
And I
PICO-8
was like, oh,
documentation.
yeah, somewhere in one of the websites. It might
Um
have been that cheat sheet that you had sent, or maybe somewhere just on the Pico 8 website. It showed like animations, or I don't remember exactly where it was. I'm
I
looking
don't
through
either.
my screenshots to see if I had screenshot it somewhere.
Sprite editor.
Yeah, there was some sort of little thing that was like a just like ideas for different shapes and how to draw them.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's okay.
No idea.
I was just like, oh, that's how I'll draw my star. But I don't think I took a screenshot.
Well, let's start here. How do you a
Yeah.
5-pointed star? The problem is there's no middle, right?
Yeah. There's it's somewhere like on just the Pico 8 website. They have the same star all over the place. I kept seeing the star. Let me try to go in through the emails you sent me the other day. Pico 8 stuff. Oh yeah, here it is.
Oh, you found it?
So let me see how far wide it is.
Yeah,
One,
yeah. See if you can
two,
just tell me where to
three,
click and
four,
we'll
five,
make it.
six,
Does it fit inside of a circle?
3, 4, 7. I think it's 7 wide.
Well, yeah, but if you look at our ball, it's got to fit inside a ball, right?
Yeah, I think it might have to go a little to the right or something. So try to put Oh, here, let me screenshot and just send you a
Yeah, yeah. Just text
picture.
it to me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna be kind of hard to explain. It's 1 dot and then 3 dots wide, and then it's 7, and then it's 5, 5, and then it has its little legs. But I just sent you a picture.
Okay. Let's when it arrives, I'll see if we can figure this out.
Yeah, it might just need to be scooted one over to the right. I would say would look better than one over to the left.
And it could be
Might make it
like,
look more like it's rounded like a ball. Oh yeah. Close it
oh
in a
yeah. The
little
problem is
bit.
that's got to go inside of a. Hmm.
I think it just about fits. Yeah, if you start right where you're at there, yeah. Yeah, and then just do the 3 layer, maybe.
That doesn't look like a star at all. Oh Lord, it doesn't look like a star at all. I suck at this. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, it looks
I
like
mean,
it's
how?
it doesn't
Can you
need
just
that.
text
You
me a
could just have
picture of a Dragon Ball from the franchise?
what if instead of we do that, what if we just put 4 dots in there? Instead of making them stars, because a 4-star Dragon Ball would be better. So if we can make 4 dots, kind of like as though it was a domino. Yeah, just like like that. Yeah, as centered as we can get those in there. Yeah, that's what better. That's better to me. That on its own looked pretty good. Oh, there we go.
Oops. So there are different kinds
Yeah.
of Dragon Balls?
Yeah, there's 1 through 7. There are 7 Dragon Balls, and when you collect all 7 of them, they're like dispersed around the world. And if you can collect all 7 of them, you can summon a dragon to make a wish. You can wish for anything.
What if we
Like if
had
someone died.
what if we had this as a round counter? What if it was 1 star in the when you for 1 round and 2 stars, 2 little dots for 2 rounds?
Oh, that could be really cool too.
So what if it were something like that's 1 round, and over here let's draw that again. And then over here we're like, actually,
Yeah. Let me look up the 2-star Dragon Ball.
and then maybe 3.
The 2-star, they would be like diagonal of each other.
Okay, so we can do that. Diagonal.
Yeah, top left, bottom right.
Oh, top left, bottom
So
right.
it'd be like the flip of that. I just sent you a screenshot.
I mean, we necessary out of necessity we have to abstract here, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love it.
What about that?
That's yeah, I love that. That's
And
great.
then, how about? Can you send me a
Yeah.
picture of the? Is there a 3-star one you said?
Yep.
Send me a picture of that. I mean, you know, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
highly abstract.
I love it. It looks so good. Oh, whoops. All right, 3 stars coming. Yeah, it's like a triangle or pyramid.
Okay, so it'd be something like.
Oh, nice. No way.
No, not like that.
Looks. Oh yeah, I guess. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe even actually the top star on the 3-star go down 1 row and take down to that row. Yeah. To the 3 stars. Yeah, actually maybe that looks better. It's in line with the
Or do you
2-star
think it?
ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I could make it. I could move them up 1 pixel.
No, I think that looks good there. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe let's try it the other way again.
No, looks better the other way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
And you keep the ones, keep the top one there. Oh. Yeah, and then
these
move
down.
the bottom. Yeah.
There you go. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that works. I'm not sure if we'll need a 3-star displayed.
Well, if you win,
yeah,
that's right, because you win 2 out of 3, right? So.
Yeah. So we might not
Or
actually
you just
even
have
need
3 rounds, and you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that could be.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll just put it on there. There's no harm if we don't use it. We can delete it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let's save our work here.